The dollar index on the weekly chart closed above this previous resistance level. So long price closed above this previous resistance level, we expect price to resume to move uptrend. We expect a resumption on uptrend in the dollar index. So what are we expecting this week on the dollar index? Let's look at the structure of the dollar index. We can see we still have a uptrend structure, which we have a series of higher low. So long we have this series of higher low on the dollar index, we expect the dollar index to resume its uptrend movement now, because price has closed above this previous resistance, this previous support that turned to what? Resistance. So long price has closed above this previous support that turned to resistance, we expect a retracement of price back to this zone before we see the push of price to the upside. So look out for buying opportunity on the dollar index this week. So let's look at the daily chart of the dollar index. On my daily chart, we can also see that we have previously on the daily chart we have a series of lower high, and you can see now that price has closed above a lower high. So long price closed above this lower high, and this particular previous support that turned to resistance had turned back to its normal state, which is turning back to support. This shows that we expect a retracement back to this zone before we see our push to the up. So we expect the dollar index on the daily chart to do a retest of this zone before we see push to the up for our buying opportunity. So look out for buying opportunity on the dollar index this week. So let's look at our next pair, which is the Gbpusd USD. Gbpusd USD on my weekly chart has resumed its downtrend movement. You can see we have a series of lower high. So long we have a series of lower high on the weekly chart, this shows that we expect price to resume downtrend movement. Then what are the other reasons why we said we expect price to resume downtrend movement? You can see that on my weekly chart, price has converted this previous resistance that turned to support back to its normal state, which is resistance. So long price has turned back this resistance back to resistance, we expect price to do a retest of it. A retest of this level, then we see price pushing lower for the Gbpusd USD. So let's look at the daily chart of the Gbpusd USD. So on my daily chart now, so long we still have this region intact, we still expect price to close below this region before we look at its selling opportunity. But all we expect this week, we expect price to do a retest of this zone, then we see price pushing lower, then we look at a retest again before we see a good selling opportunity for the Gbpusd USD. So look at our selling opportunity on the Gbpusd USD this week. So let's look at our next pair, which is the Euro USD. Euro USD on my weekly chart has resumed its downtrend movement on the weekly chart. You can see that we have price clearly indicating downtrend now. Why do we say so? You can see that price closed on this resistance on the weekly chart. So long price closed on this resistance zone on the weekly chart, we expect price to resume to move downtrend. We expect the resumption of, so we expect price to resume to go down this week. So let's look at the trend of the Euro USD on the weekly chart. You can see we still have a series of lower high. So long we have this series of lower high, so this shows that we have a downtrend structure on the weekly chart. So now the euro has told us that we are resuming a downtrend movement this week. So all we expect on the Euro USD now, we expect price reversal back to this resistance before we look at our selling opportunity. So we expect price to do a retest of this resistance, then we'll see price pushing lower for the Euro USD. So let's look at the daily chart of the Euro USD. On my daily chart, you can see that price has cleared a higher low on the daily chart. Previously, we have a lower low, higher low, higher low, higher low on the daily chart. Now you can see that we now have price close below a higher low on the daily chart. So long price has closed below a higher low, Euro USD will be one of my best setup this week to trade. I'll be looking for selling opportunity inside this zone. I'll be waiting for price to do a retest of this zone with our price action setup before we look for selling opportunity back to the downside. So look out for price action setup for selling opportunity on the Euro USD this week. Let's look at our next pair, which is the Australia USD. From my previous week analysis, I said I expect Australia USD to drop, and you can see that price really dropped last week. So what we expect this week on the Australia USD has resumed its downtrend movement. So long price has resumed its downtrend movement, we expect the Australia USD to continue to drop. So you can see that we have a support at this level, which price tested now. But before we can see further downtrend on the Australia USD, we expect price to do a retest of this zone. All we expect now, we expect price to do a retest of this zone on the weekly chart. We have a big zone here. We expect price to do a retest of this weekly resistance zone before we see any further downtrend movement on the Australia USD. So after the test, we see price resumption back to the downside. So let's look at the daily chart of the Australia USD. On my daily chart, we can see price has also closed below a higher low. So long price has closed below this higher low, we expect Australia USD to resume downtrend movement, which we expect price to do a retest of any of this zone before we see price pushing lower. So look out for selling opportunity on the Australia USD this week. So let's look at our next pair, which is the Gold USD. Gold USD on my weekly chart this week look very nice for selling opportunity. So this week I'll be taking on Gold USD. I'll be looking for selling opportunity on the Gold USD this week, which is a reversal setup. You can see we have a price action candlestick on the weekly chart of the Gold USD, which is a bearish engulfing candle, which signifies a reversal in Gold USD. So all we expect from the Gold USD this week, we expect price to move back to this next resistance. This is our previous resistance zone. So we expect the price to move back to this gold previous resistance zone. So let's look at the trend of the market on gold. You can see we still have the uptrend trend on gold USD. So long we have this uptrend trend on gold USD, our major scenario on gold still remain buy, but we have to trade this reversal trend this week. So we expect price to do a retest of this zone, then look out for uptrend reduction on the gold. Then what we expect in our second scenario, we expect price to do once price break below this level, we expect price to do a retest, then we look out for selling opportunity for gold USD. So gold USD still remain in uptrend, but we expect price to test this zone this week before we look at our buying opportunity. So let's look at the daily chart of the gold USD. You can see on my daily chart of the gold USD, we have a very clear reversal pattern already. You can see that price has closed below this higher low. So long price closed below this higher low, we only expect a reversal of trend for us to sell the gold USD. All we expect this week on gold USD, we expect price to do a retest of this zone. So long we have this first breakout low here, and the weekly chart telling us to sell, we expect price to do a retest of this zone. We expect price to do a retest of this zone or this zone, then we'll receive our further push to this particular weekly support. So we expect price to do a retest of this zone. Then we also expect price to do a retest of this zone. So we can see our push of price back to the downside, which if price give us a price action setup on this zone, we'll look at for selling opportunity. If price give us a price action setup on this zone, we'll look at for selling opportunity. So just wait for price action setup on gold USD, because gold we said this week. So look out for your possible selling opportunity on the gold USD. What is our second scenario for buying opportunity? For buying opportunity this week, if we see price move above this region, we can look out for a test before we look out for buying opportunity this week for gold USD. Let's look at our next pair, which is the USDJPY. USDJPY has resumed its uptrend movement because the structure of USDJPY on the weekly chart still remain uptrend. You can see we still have a series of higher low. So long we have this series of higher low and price fail to close below this level, this shows that price will resume to buy on the USDJPY. So all we need on the USDJPY now, we expect a retracement of price back to this support zone before we look out for our buying opportunity to this region. A break of this region, we expect price to move to this area. Then our selling scenario, all we expect for USDJPY, we expect for selling scenario, we expect price to break below this level, then we test, then we see price resuming downtrend. So, but our major scenario this week, which is the buying scenario, we'll be looking at for buying opportunity on the USDJPY. So let's look at the daily chart of the USDJPY. So on my daily chart, USDJPY still have a downtrend structure, which is we have a series of lower high. So long we have this series of lower high, we expect the USDJPY to be a reversal trend for us to trade this week. So and price has closed on this our resistance. With the resistance we expect price to close since last week, price has closed on this resistance level this week now. So all we expect from the USDJPY this week, we expect price to do a retest of this zone before we look at our buying opportunity. Which of the zone are we looking at now? Let me draw the zone we are looking at for buying opportunity. We expect price to come back to this support zone before we look at our buying opportunity. So look at your buying opportunity on this zone, which is also a weekly support zone too. Look out for your buying opportunity on this zone with a price action candlestick setup. So we are buying USDJPY this week. So you have been trading for years and you are still losing your hard-earned money. So we created a course for you, both the newbies and the experienced trader. Click the link in the description to purchase your price action trading course. We believe with this course you become a better trader and you make profit consistently. So thank you for watching my video. If you find this weekly analysis helpful, please like this video and subscribe to our channel. Don't forget to also join our Telegram group for free signals. Our signals are all free. We give out free signals in our Telegram group. Thank you for watching. See you in my next video.